blah blah.
So this is the real test.
Fair enough.
And yeah, here we could do it.
Fair enough. No, hey, we got a person.
Yeah. And we can hear ourselves, and we can hear the game. That's all good.
Everything seems to be working. Well, hello.
All right, inked Freddy, first in.
Fair enough. In the future, I am not only spectacular, amazing, sensational, web of, I am also savage.
That's right, the Savage Spider Dave.
The new thing that comes before a title, I don't remember.
Is that a thing?
Nah, Savage Spider-Man hasn't been used yet. I'm not going to use Superior Spider-Man because I have that joke set up and raring to go at a later point.
Wasn't Savage like one of the Hulk's titles, like the Savage Hulk or the Savage She-Hulk?
It's used interchangeably with She-Hulk, Hulk, and Wolverine. Which, you know, if you're going to use characters through that, She-Hulk never really does the whole Savage thing anymore.
AJ Shim says, Dave, you are also ultimate, spectacular, and 2099.
Thank you. I want to get the 2099, but we're not going to unlock that suit for a while. Aw.
I mean, there was a time tonight when I didn't think you would arrive until 2099.
It's true. It's true. But I did arrive on time.
Shockers into this time.
So.
I believed in you. So, yeah, welcome back, Space Cadets, to Hal and Dave's Trip to Jupiter. And we've got the spectacular Spider Dave and Dr. Haltopus playing Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 for the second time.
Well,
last time we had a tense conversation with Mary Jane, who's apparently Peter Parker's ex-girlfriend. Man, I can relate to that.
What can't you relate to?
Well, that's what's spectacular about Spider-Man. He's a much more relatable character than a lot of these Goliaths of superheroes.
Well, yeah, that's his whole gimmick. But right now, there's crime to be stopped. And Spider-Man needs to change his costume.
Ah, welcome, Highlander Octorok. Good to see you.
And... oh, yeah, I haven't unlocked research tokens yet. Oh, well. We're gonna do... We'll do Scarlet.
Yeah, so apparently between last week stream and this week, Dave played a ton of this game. But Hal is completely unspoiled.
It's not even Black Friday. Ever hear a knocking?
Kill!
Does the Scarlet Spider kill people?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. One doesn't. Other did.
There's two Scarlet Spiders?
Yeah, and they're both clones of Peter, too.
They all had the same idea. I wonder why.
Nah, well, here's the thing. So, Scarlet Spider was created, initially to take Peter Parker's place as a single Spider-Man. While the clone has existed since the 70s in a story, he apparently died at the end of the original story, and in the 90s they were like, how do we get a single Spider-Man? Didn't he have a clone in the 70s? Yeah, the clone might be single, but what if we reveal that Peter Parker is the clone?
Pro tip.
And that's what happened.
Maybe don't pull a B&E.
Okay, so wait, when you say single, you mean like not married to Mary Jane?
Yes. They didn't, well...
Man, I don't know. It's just like funny to me because I guess I'm more used to like however manga tends to do it, where either the story just kind of ends or they actually keep the changes that they've made.
Dude, you're not necessarily wrong, but to be fair, take a look at Dragon Ball and how Goku is still around despite Gohan being a thing to an extent. Like,
yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball is kind of a mess, but it's awesome.
Look, I'm not saying that Dragon Ball is not awesome. Since this area only has, like, two antennas, I'm just going to take care of this one now.
Oh yeah, go for it. No, I know you've learned a lot about this game in the week, so I'm looking forward to your spectacular gameplay skills.
Yeah, I've learned how to do movement a lot better in this game too. Excuse me, there's crime!
Crime sense is tingling.
According to, like, him, he does.
Nice.
And now as you can see, I've learned, even at a lower level, I'm a lot better at combat than I used to be here. Mostly also because these guys are actually really simple to take care of.
Princess Luna says, I just watched Infinity War 2. Spoiler alert, Thanos drowns in the pool.
Fair.
That sounds like a very special movie.
Ah.
After exhausting his infinity powers, Thanos fell exhausted into someone's backyard pool.
Oh, you know, that's just Thanos. He's just like, oh, Muffin, I just didn't want to be in the pool together. There we go. Sweet. Crime token! Yeah, boy! Alright, so tokens are important. I've learned this. And believe it or not, we're not going to get all the costumes on one run, apparently.
Yeah, you were telling me that you gotta get to New Game Plus to get them all?
Yeah, there's one costume in particular that requires token.
Is it one that we really want?
Yes. I'm not going to go for it. It's one of my favorite costumes. It's the Last Stand costume. You can look it up. It's the one with the leather jacket. Okay. And it looks really friggin' sweet.
So I did find out that there was a cel-shaded animated series costume, and I really want that one.
Yeah, we're gonna actually... That one's gonna be actually pretty easy to get.
Did you just land on those people?
Yeah, I'm trying to take a picture. Jesus.
Spectacular Spider Jerk?
Yeah, I'm trying to take a picture here. For great justice. But now there's crime! And I'm gonna switch off my power.
Jameson's just like, Spider-Man is a raving lunatic. Every time he lands, people hear him shouting about crime. He must be shouting about the crimes he's about to commit.
You wanna fight? It's your lucky day.
But as you can see, like,
combat... You've gotten more efficient at taking these guys down.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Here's a trick for this game that you don't realize until then. These guys are actually relatively a lot easier to put them down once you realize that if you just web them up entirely and get them close to a wall or a floor, they literally go down. Like, check this out.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay, I didn't do it that time.
Okay, he wasn't near
But look at that brute dude.
Yeah, okay, he webbed him in the face.
If I can get him to a wall and just continue webbing him to something, like...
Yeah, he gets stuck.
Yeah, like...
Because they find a way to break the webs when it's just on their body, but if they're attached to something, they get stuck.
Yeah.
I love laying out bullies.
But as you can see, we're trying to get ourselves some crime tokens.
Crime tokens.
But yeah, there's a couple costumes I'm not gonna really worry about getting for the stream. But you know, they're costumes. But let's get a backpack.
Crusher Hogan.
Yep, where Hulk Hogan actually got his name from.
I never had that much money before in my life.
Wait, really?
Or since, come to think of it.
That is a true fact.
So Hulk Hogan is named after a comic book character from Spider-Man.
Yeah, and also the Hulk.
Really?
Yeah, he's actually genuinely named after the Hulk. True statement. His favorite manga is also Koniku Man.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah. But we're not talking about Hulk Hogan, but I've always been a bigger Randy Savage fan, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Plus his voice is just awesome. I mean, come on, Randy Savage.
Well, that's how you get big, is you have such a unique way about you.
Alrighty.
Because if you're just like, come out and be like, hey, I'm a tough guy, nobody's going to remember you from all the other tough guys. But if you come out and you have a unique manner of speaking, and you're like...
Holy
wow,
shit! I found the freaking Iron Fist company. Hey, Alex Shim.
Oh,
hey, Shim. I'm calling you out on this stream. Look, I found the Iron Fist company for you. And now I'm going to protect it from crime!
Crime! That's right, isn't he? Danny Rand is his name, right?
Yep.
And he's like an American who gains the power of the Iron Fist.
It's a little more complicated than that. He was initially Kunlundi. He was actually raised...
Do the thing.
Do the thing! Do the thing! Do the thing!
Do the thing, Charlie Brown.
Oh.
I mean Peter Parker.
Apparently this was the only guy who needed to be saved.
Spider-Man,
Alright, that was crime. I solved crime.
It's not so much of a crime unless you consider it a traffic violation.
Oh, wait. I still gotta find the guy who hit and run. So,
oh, okay.
I gotta solve the crime. Guys, I'm solving crime. And I found them.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait. Freaking car.
Alright, there it is.
Yep. Let's see.
Alright, so you presumably have learned the ways of the chase.
Yep.
Nice.
You've got points left on your licenses, guys. That pile-up was a doozy. Here's your stuff.
There we go. And
Renault says in his signature, all caps, how are my favorite streamers?
we are doing good. And I gotta do the thing, 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 do the thing!
Yep.
Ah, god dang
did
it,
not
I
do the
could-
thing.
Well,
Although, you know, doing the thing sounds like it might be kind of uncomfortable anyways.
yeah. But
Let's just say I don't want it to be clobbering time.
well, that's what happens. Anyway, we're gonna do some story continuation here. At the moment.
Yes, so last time Stan Lee gave Mary Jane dating advice, I think.
Well, we're gonna get into a lot more than dating advice. We're hopefully gonna unlock the research token soon, because that's gonna allow us to access more abilities. And more things. So, this game, everything is unlocked with tokens that we get from specific missions. And the only way we can unlock these missions is playing the main story. So, we're gonna do some unlocking.
Yeah, let's do it.
Become the masters of unlocking. And there's some hidden little features here. But you know, also, I'm willing to field any weird comic book questions you guys have for me.
That's right. Continue to ask Dave questions about the comics. Hal's keeping a close eye on the comment section and the chat.
I wonder if King T'Challa got his
Oh!
powers from
Wakanda Embassy.
Man, we,
Been by a radioactive panther.
That'd still probably hurt.
yeah. Bitten by a radioactive panther.
I'm sure that's exactly how it happened.
To be fair, basically, if you really want to be honest, T'Challa's power is that one time he got high. Because, look, he eats a heart-shaped herb. What do you think is in those herbs? I mean, let's be honest, let's think here.
One day, I ate an herb, and then suddenly I just felt the panther flowing within me.
There we go.
Yeah, you know, I never actually saw the Black Panther film.
It's a good film, but
It looked really
overhyped.
good.
Okay, it's a good film that might be ruined because it's overhyped as hell.
Well, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
I recommend it to some people, and they have come back to me and said it wasn't that great, and I was like, yeah, no. One friend in particular was really ticked off by it. And I was like, look, it's a good film, but try and adjust your expectations. And I'm sorry, people who think it's like the best film ever, but it's a solid film.
I didn't see it not because I wasn't interested, but because my usual movie buddy kind of caused a lot of trouble for me, and so yeah.
Let's see, how do I get this back?
All right, so here we go. Princess Luna says, Dave, which DCAU hero made a Spider-Man reference in his cartoon?
Batman Beyond, of course. Batman Beyond has a lot of Spider-Man references, but there's a couple other ones too. In Young Justice, they have the Black Spider voiced by Josh Keaton because Greg Weisman worked on both shows, and it's basically one extended Spider-Man sequence.
That's great.
There's a couple other ones though. Let's get this. Oh, hey, the Rhino!
I found it amusing
He almost
in...
killed me until I
Ooh.
broke this chip off his horn and figured out what his costume's made of. Still wasn't easy to beat him. My back still aches just thinking about it.
Wait, is the Rhino in this game?
Kind of. I'm not gonna say a word.
All right, yeah, that's right. That'd be spoilers. But so I think I mentioned this last stream, but I'm a fan of the like idea that he's like a power armor villain as opposed to just like a dude in a crazy costume.
I prefer dude in the crazy costume, if I'm being honest.
I will
but
agree to disagree on that one.
We are just gonna have to
Well, because you're a fan of like the classic stuff, and I'm kind of coming in from an outside perspective.
I guess I'm
Yeah.
more of a.
I'm coming in from a guy who's played too much Metal Gear Solid.
I'm coming in from. I like the look, but I also like him as like this dumb brutish guy who just doesn't have his life under control at all.
Let's see. Oh man.
Believe it or not,
Princess Luna says that they were looking for a specific example.
Oh, a specific example?
Yeah, you know, it's been a while since I've seen Batman Beyond, so I'm trying to think that because I'm with you that in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Batman Beyond as a major reference to Spider-Man, at least in one particular episode that stuck out to me. So there's this episode called The Terrific Trio.
See, yeah, I was thinking of that, like the Justice League Unlimited episode.
Yeah, no, it was a Batman Beyond episode. Oh, hey, it's the motherfucking Shocker!
Hi, Herman.
Seriously?
This is gonna be fun.
Not voiced by Jim Cummings this time.
No. Shocker! I'm gonna follow you to the ends of the earth!
See, I didn't understand that as a kid, that the Shocker and Electro had two distinct power sets.
Dude, a lot of people... Some artists don't even think they have two distinct power sets. And they should know, they're writing him.
Yeah. Jeez, what do they do when they hire these writers if they don't know that?
I feel
It
like...
would take 2 minutes to explain it.
In all seriousness, some of these characters... Here's the thing. Sometimes if you're a minor character in comics, you just get treated on like shit. And it's true. But I'm gonna follow him to the ends of the earth.
Oh, okay. Princess Luna says, the one I was looking for was Static Shock telling Anansi the Spider to hit him with a web blast.
Oh, yeah. That,
suddenly I remember that, where he's like, I'm not that kind of spider.
I'm not that kind of spider. But the reason I remember the...
Oh, look at this Shocker.
Yeah, the Shocker has a good design in this. But okay, so here's the thing. The Terrific Trio episode I'm mentioning has Batman Beyond do the thing.
Nice.
Which is him lifting something really heavy off of his back. In a similar frame, actually.
That's nice.
Yeah, if you actually go...
That's definitely what you would notice as, like, a true fan.
In all seriousness, it's one of those things of just, like, go back to that episode and look at and compare it with Spider-Man 33. But you know, there's also weird Fantastic Four parallels. My favorite bit is that's the episode where they kind of do the whole thing. They basically make the Thing Reed Richards to an extent and have him dealing with his, like, issues.
Yeah, yeah.
So, there's a lot of good... But yeah.
Well, wasn't he like Magma Man?
Yeah, basically. But
yeah,
he was meant to be the Thing, essentially.
Well,
you know?
yeah. No, I totally got that. Like, even as a kid, I was like, oh, they're doing a Fantastic Four thing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, so Shocker is firing, you know, they look kind of like lasers, but obviously they're like shockwaves.
Yep. Here's the thing. This actually took me 2 or 3 tries initially when I played through this. But now that I actually got a better handle on, like, the movement mechanics.
You have 0 personality.
Oh, I love Herman. He's the slub. Also, Herman has the best win rate of all the Spider-Man villains.
How does he win?
You underestimate him. You think he's that bad. But I remember the Anansi episode a lot, actually.
Suspicious Pie says, this chase is electrifying. To which Johnny McJim replies, no, you silly, he makes shockwaves.
He's shocking. It's shocking.
You have that effect on a
Will Carper says, the Thing, everyone's favorite Jew.
It's true.
AJ Shim says, he is based on the Golem.
Not initially, but yeah. Now, it's mostly because the Thing himself is so heavily based on Jack Kirby that became a thing.
Looks like I got some free time.
Yeah, no, and I'm happy with it. Because to me, the Thing being Jewish makes kind of a whole lot of sense.
I just remember Disney's Gargoyles had an episode where they went to like Prague and they had a golem that was blessed by a rabbi and defending the city.
Oh,
and
that was good.
I found that fascinating.
Oh, dude, it was one of the best uses of mythology, and to tell you the truth,
Gargoyles was always
there's
super good about that.
Some really interesting Jewish mythology that not a lot of people take advantage of. Like, one of my favorite creatures is a Dybbuk, which is pretty much a male succubus, actually. Believe it or not. Not the sexual thing, but it is like a male demon type thing that actually goes after women and stuff. Really interesting.
Whenever?
Yeah, whenever, whatever.
This is not a comic reference I can spot. I don't.
Wait, what was that?
It was Kochi Hotel, and I'm like, That is so generic, it could be fucking anything.
Koji?
Yeah, Koji.
Kabuto Koji?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think it's a Mazinger Z reference.
Hey. I bet people at Insomniac were like, hey, we like manga and stuff too.
I'm actually kind of shocked that there actually isn't a Spiral reference yet, as far as I could see. But
no, that's true. Yeah, maybe there's gonna be like a little like chimera somewhere in the game.
I have to once again defend
Feast.
myself against.
Almost morning. Mr. Lee will be here soon.
Oh,
I could use a snack.
but
Okay. Will says, wait, the golem is Hebrew. I thought that it was Roman. Nope, that is Hebrew.
no, it's a Hebrew thing. It's,
Are we fast traveling?
Nope.
What is this?
I think this is just a loading screen of us waiting.
But by now you've seen the fast travel loading screens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're great, right?
Oh, they're fantastic. They're like my favorite fast travel loading screens.
Welcome to Feast, Mr. Lee. Oh yeah, Mr. Positivity and his evil alter ego negativity, man.
Look, we gotta deal with Asian Two-Face right now, so you know this is just what we'd have to do sometimes.
Well, it's funny because I found myself calling one of my bosses Mr. Positivity at one point.
Mr. Positivity.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. Like, they come in here and they're like, it's always smiling and it's like always a lot of energy and, yeah.
Alright. And this is like the first big moments we see of him, well, you know.
Mr. Lee. I have a friend, Mary Jane.
Look at how he acts in this scene, and it is setting up his supervillain turn right now. I really don't feel like this is a major spoiler, because if you actually do know the comics, you know this is gonna happen. And with Mr. Negative in the trailers so heavily, I really don't feel like this is actually a major spoiler for the game.
Where'd she find it?
I'm really not sure.
It's not even one of those cases of, oh, we're setting it up differently to fool you type things.
So it's not like the Arkham Knight, where they're like, oh, we're doing something totally different, we promise.
Oh, fucking A. You know, with this game, I'm kind of glad that they're just like, they don't bullshit around on stuff. Hell, I will admit I am glad for that, though there is one part I'm gonna make fun of.
He gets no love. Even his Netflix show is mediocre.
Well,
I learned about Iron Fist from the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, and I thought he was fun there. He was voiced by the guy who played Beast Boy.
Iron Fist unfortunately gets shafted for a couple reasons. One, he unfortunately isn't a big name in general. There's also the whole controversy with his origin and stuff, which look, he was created during a specific time and place. They didn't change him up. It's fine. He is what he is.
Never seen him like that.
But the big problem with Iron Fist to an extent is people don't know how to get around it, because a lot of the people who work on his shit don't really have an understanding of actual Asian martial arts story.
What's his origin controversy that you're referring to?
Some people want him to actually be Asian. That's the whole...
The fact that he's a white guy who has, like, Asian-based superpowers?
Well, he has martial arts-based superpowers, and to be fair... And on another level, here's the thing. I'm kind of glad that the first Asian superhero for Marvel isn't a kung fu master.
Well, who was the first Asian superhero for Marvel?
For Marvel? It really depends. I'll go with the first actual Asian main character for Marvel, which was Jimmy Woo in the 1950s.
All right.
You see, Jimmy Woo was this character who was actually part of a supervillain book called Yellow Claw. Yellow Claw himself is basically just Fu Manchu. You know, that evil Asian villain stereotype. Jimmy Woo, on the other hand, was not stereotypical, a good guy, and worked for the U.S. government, tracking him down. So, while the comic was called Yellow Claw, it was actually about Jimmy Woo taking him on each issue.
Okay.
It only lasted 3 issues, but to be fair, this was a comic coming out in the friggin' 1950s. If you like, let's be fair here, you're not gonna get much more progressive than that during that period. And, you know, it's just the truth of the matter. Iron Fist, here's the thing. The big problem is that a lot of the people who work on his show don't understand martial arts stories and how to combine that with superhero stuff. They need to look at a Bruce Lee movie and just add that with superpowers. That's very simple. He has a simple to not fuck up concept, yet people keep fucking it up. It's kind of amazing.
AJ Shim says, I can write him well. Also, there have been Asian Iron Fists. They need to bone up on their Iron Fist lore.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Iron Fist is a legacy character, so here's the thing. Danny's just one of many Iron Fists. Yeah. In all seriousness, you could easily write it so that there might have been a black Iron Fist, or even different, like,
oh, man,
regions of Asian Iron Fist. You know?
You know, now you got me thinking, because... Are you okay if I bring up something controversial, Dave?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, let's do it. Because I was hearing, and now I've never played the Witcher games, but I heard they were doing a Netflix series, and first people were like, Henry Cavill might play Geralt, but then apparently there was like a casting call that got leaked, and they were like, we're looking for like a black girl to play the pale white girl from the games, and everybody was in a fit after that.
All right.
So, I'm just gonna put my thoughts out there that it's like you should just try to be faithful to the character. And
well, the big problem with like this casting is initially I wasn't going to give it much thought other than people are controversy, but then I realized that there actually is lore bullshit that would make a white actress actually preferable in this case.
Well, yeah, because it's based on what country is it from?
It's Poland.
It's like Polish, yes, Polish lore. So it's like,
well,
it's based on
Polish
like
lore,
Northern European mythology.
To be fair, Polish lore and ripping off Elric of Melbourne. Yeah, I can never say that right.
Yeah,
Elric.
I gotcha. Elric.
Yeah,
Edward Elric.
No.
I always figured that's where he got his name.
Probably, actually.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Doc, I'm trying to find a backpack.
I totally forgot. I mean,
No.
I didn't forget. I'll be there soon.
I'll get that backpack.
My backpack says it's tingling.
Yes. But in all seriousness, here's the thing. I just kind of realized that they might, if they actually don't go with that casting, they might have actually avoided another controversy enough. Because here's the thing. The Witcher lore has them with pale skin. That would literally mean that if they hired a black girl, that they would have to
I assume like Geralt isn't actually meant to be like an elderly man. He just has like pale skin and white hair because he's awesome, right?
He was mutated.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Look.
Yeah, so it's like they did this before, where like they did like the Death Note movie. I didn't actually see the Death Note movie, but like Elle was black after being like the most pale, possibly Japanese person ever.
Harry's VIP card for the nightclub. Harry always...
Like, I'm not a big fan of what they've done to a lot of stuff, but it's really... I'm not... Let me put it this way. I really don't care that much who they ultimately cast as long as the story's good, but if they're gonna change something, they really have to make sure the lore's consistent with the change.
See, that's my thing, is like, when you write it, when you do anything, just make sure you do it well.
Like... If you're going to cast somebody, then you're going to have to accept that if you're going to cast a black girl in this role, you're going to have to explain why you're making a black girl, like, lighten up her skin.
Yeah, well, like why is she there in a place that's clearly, like, fantasy, medieval Europe kind of...
It's to make sure that people going in, that this is a fantasy show, nothing is very realistic.
Yeah.
We seem to be, okay, never mind. Is that nothing is very realistic to an extent. Like, one of the problems with Battlefield is that it's a World War II game, and the game looked nothing like World War II.
Oh yeah, the recent Battlefield thing. We are getting all controversial on this.
Well, if I'm going to be honest, if you want to get a good example
of... hey, I don't know why they have cyborg stuff in World War II. That's more like Metal Gear Solids kind of thing.
Okay, look.
Not Battlefield.
Look, you want to know a game that did well was Valkyria Chronicles?
The most anime...
World War II ever, yeah.
But wait, does it actually take place in World War II?
It's based on World War II.
Okay, but it's like fictional nations, right?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, so...
But,
it's not actually World War II, it's just sort of like it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, it's very... is what it is. So, the thing... Oh, this is great. This actually foreshadows a costume you get later.
The idea to add insulation to my costume, which saved my bacon more than once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, yeah. But anyway, here's the thing with this stuff. One of the reasons Valkyria Chronicles works is that it establishes that it's a different world and has different rules. Look, Valkyria Chronicles is literally World War II with Super Saiyan waifus.
Sounds like a good time.
Yes. And that's not bad or anything else, but it established itself as a fantasy world where, you know, you shouldn't go one-to-one. Hitler looks like friggin' Caesar in that game, for crying out loud.
Wow.
Yeah, and, you know...
I mean, I think what gets me even more so is that after these creators do, like, an obviously controversial move that's going to, like, upset hardcore fans or something, then they choose to yell at them on, like, Twitter and stuff and be like, you're a terrible person because you don't like these things I'm doing to your thing.
It's true. Well, let me put it this way.
And it's like, when did that become a good business practice? Ever heard the customer is always right?
Let me put it this way. If they weren't selling, like, a big product, then ultimately, that's kind of the problem with some of this stuff, is that, you know, they don't realize that, like, their actions have consequences in this. But the truth of the matter is that, here's the truth. Well, there's another actual truth to the controversy, too.
Yeah.
How accurate do you want to portray the war? Because here's the thing. That was a war built on racism and arrogance of the time.
It was a war built on a lot of things, man.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is that you can't have it both ways. You can't have a fantasy war and portray the bad stuff about it without showing what the era was like.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do a fantasy, make a friggin' fantasy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all for like doing a fantasy, you know, make up your own thing. Well, that's why I kind of prefer some of these more like fantastic shooters. Like Killzone was Sony's shooting franchise, and that is effectively World War II in space with the Helghast standing in as like space Nazis. And then you have, like, the ISA being the Allies. And, you know, they even have, like, their own Normandy invasion, where they come in on, like, these drop ships and stuff and land on a beach on planet Helghan. You know? But it's all, like, fantasy, and the bad guys have, like, these Darth Vader helmets and stuff, and it's great.
Yeah. But that's just my opinion, is that, look, if you want to do fantasy. But if you're going to portray an era that's so built on its prejudices, you gotta do that right.
Johnny McJim says the reason why they don't make their own fantasy world is because they're creatively bankrupt.
I can kind of agree on that one.
You know, yeah, that's too bad. Look, because I feel like it's one of those things where like you expend a lot of energy doing one thing, but if you spent all that energy doing something creative, you'd actually do something great.
Here's the truth of the matter. Especially in historical stuff, a lot of this stuff can also be people's first exposure to a particular era.
How does it work? Just like a natural arm.
Oh, Doc Ock.
And
he's helping an injured veteran?
Yeah.
Oh, man, see.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I like the Ock in this game a lot.
He looks a little bit like Alfred Molina's portrayal.
What do you think you're doing?
The site's been declared a safe
He actually reminds me of someone in my life who I loved a lot when I was younger.
this is highly sensitive
But now, in all seriousness, this is gonna hurt me. This is gonna hurt me so much.
Peter Parker.
Oh, hey, Norman.
Speak of
Willem Dafoe, we knew you'd arrive.
William Dafoe. Oh my God. So, all right. I'm
Norman,
look.
what do you think you're doing?
I know this is gonna happen, Norman. We know this is gonna happen. Where's your freaking
Like
glider?
he has a certain look to him. Like he kind of reminds me of Willem Dafoe.
They definitely. This kind of has the Arkham thing of trying to mix and match, like aspects about Spider-Man and going their own way on some things. For one thing, I will praise that the game gives a better origin and motivation for Miles to eventually become Spider-Man. But I'll talk about Miles when we get to him and his problems as a character in the comics and a couple other things. Because I'm gonna say this: there are no bad characters, only bad writers.
Free to continue your work.
Okay, I'm gonna agree to disagree on that one. Sometimes there are characters.
Character, almost any character.